field isn't that.
It's cleaver time!
Beastmaster, even that damage is going to be a little bit slow.
We shall see how this plays out. As I mentioned previously, in the last series these two played, Beastcoast were willing to sort of take it slow in the laning stage and then really start turning up the heat when we got to the mid game and started taking some of those larger team fights. We'll see if they play into something similar here, or if Ravens are going to be able to outlast them. I think, looking at this lineup compared to what they ran last time, ET, their ability to outlast Beastcoast is certainly better. Right, last time out, I think they were trying for the Benjaz Broodmother strat. They got it in both games, and obviously that didn't really work out fantastically for them, but you got TB, you've got a Dawnbreaker, you've got a Kunkka. You're not going to get immediately wiped out of these fights, and that could make all the difference for them.
Yeah, and speaking of, Broodmother did not get banned or picked in this draft. So come that next game, and maybe we see a slight switch up, but nobody seemed interested in her this time around, which is very, very different. But we'll have to see, because that could have an effect, especially if this series goes to a game 3 and you're in that best of 1 situation, then, you know, anything could come out.
We'll have to see if it goes the distance or not. Right now, though, Beastcoast moving their way across the river here just a little bit. Parker's already skilled up the hook, so he would love some sort of initiation, but
the battle begins.
Raven's not going to give them that sort of easy fight. Instead, they're going to try and fight in the river here against DarkMago, and that's a 4v1. Your Ember Spirit doesn't want to get involved, so it'll be a simple 2-2 split here on the runes, and we get into the laning stage. No funny business, no tri-lanes, anything of that nature, ET. Just a little bit of a D-ward, actually, from Demon. He can get across the river to actually take it out, but DarkMago, yeah, says, no, maybe I lose the ward, but I'm not giving you any gold.
Yeah, unfortunately for Pipi, a little bit too difficult for him to spread out. But now, DarkMago's got no vision on the runes, so maybe we see a rotation back mid where somebody tries to steal his water rune and the other mid breaks for the other, but that's where Kunkka isn't so interested in the bottle rush. Ember Spirit's definitely going to look to get his earlier.
The top lane, Stinger and Parker already sort of go to work there. Frostbite into hook onto the Rubik, but without the extra damage and slow there from the Rot, can't really make that play happen just yet, but trying to set up for it. Burn through some of the early regen so that the next time around when they have the levels, there won't be as much to protect the support there. As speaking of potentially protecting the support, Cara is getting hit up here, and he might actually go down. A couple more right clicks need to come through, but Schofield decides to back it off, and well, another scenario, ET. This duo goes in, but since they're level 1, they can't find the kill. Axes were attempted, but Cara kind of saw it coming and backed off.
Yeah, just a very nice play. A lot of nice damage traded out. And you're getting the south going on the silencer, so it could be worse, but just very efficient trades, making it happen with the Marcy. A little bit, you know, different from what we're used to seeing, but the same ideas, just being very efficient with your mana. Whereas a hero that has always been very efficient and has low-cost spells, but just making it work, baiting them into a lot of plays with Sacred and the axes early on as well. Even though right now, Sacred's tapped and he doesn't want to buy any more mangoes. He's just free enough for the Helm of Iron Will, as he should.
So it's going to be on Schofield to just try to harass. Maybe if you get it disposed back, Sacred can come in and just kind of right-click in there a few times, but not much more than that, as Schofield's just going to steal a creep wave here.
Ooh, nice play from Cara.
Yeah. Field is taking a fair bit of damage. Yuma's making his way over as well, but that's a little too far for the TB to walk, but mission accomplished. If you're Cara, not only do you stop the steal there, you honestly still get the pull you were looking for. It is kind of getting taken away from Sacred, but still partially accomplishing what Cara wanted.
Yeah, and then Yuma steals the majority of the creeps. Just little plays from Ravens, but very nice stuff. They get a lot of stability back into the lane now. Just really exactly what they were looking for. And the only reason Schofield goes for that creep pull is because Sacred probably calms to his teammate. I don't really have mana. I don't really want to buy mana either. I just want to chill, let the creep wave come in. So very smart just to counter it out as Yuma gets a ton of damage here on Sacred. I mean, yeah, Scofield's got to help his teammate out, but it worked. Just walked him out of the lane.
Yeah. Free damage there. Well, I say free. No such thing as free if you're using meta. Just a massive cooldown. But you get to bully your opponent. He's going to be able to clean up really the rest of that creep wave as well. And at this stage, I don't know, maybe a hit or two onto the tower, although he's still trying to actually hit up the heroes in this instance, so the tier 1 won't take a crazy amount of damage, but it goes a long way towards establishing a little bit of control. The only downside now, though, you have pushed under the tower. So Sacred and Schofield get a little bit of time, a little bit of experience here, a chance to reset.
Yeah, and we'll see. Let's go put in the lanes nice. But yeah, top, a lot of damage. Demon's trying to walk this one out, but it just doesn't work. And Stinger doesn't have very much more mana, but unless they get some crazy hook through a creep wave, it's unlikely to get the follow-up kill, but they got what they wanted.
And Benjaz, I don't know. An interesting choice there to try and turn around for the Starbreaker. Sure, it keeps the Rubik safe, but it put him literally right next to the Pudge with level 2 Rot going, so tried to make a play, didn't work out. First blood to Beastcoast, and hopefully a quick reconnect here for Pipi. Is dropped out for a second, coming back in fairly quickly, ET, but that does give us a second to talk about this mid matchup here. They're pretty much even in terms of the last hits. Well, I mean, Pipi's got the double bracer build, so as of right now, DarkMago just really is not going to have the damage to burn him down.
Yeah, just a little bit too tanky. If he ever does feel like he needs to go back to base, he can just do the X combo, so, you know, it's not too bad. BP is also level 5 now, so he's at that point where he can actually very efficiently trade into the Ember. But the funny thing about this matchup is as soon as you can trade into the Ember Spirit with Tidebringer, well, he gets his level 6, and then he heals up and TP's back to his fountain. So really, both sides have quite a few resources they could put back into the lane. And without any supports rotating over, of course, it's going to change for the 6 minute, but just means that nobody is under all too much pressure.
Just kind of hanging out at the moment. Do see DarkMago, though, going for the Orb of Corruption build, so might get a little bit more damage in the early stages with that build instead of just some sort of early Maelstrom rush like we've seen from some of the other mid options. Is top lane Parker, he got himself into a little bit of trouble there, pulled back, but that's where the Flesh Heap comes into play. Only level 1 ET, but it allows him to absorb a lot of that damage.
He's able to walk that one out. Gets to kill the card, but look. Pipi, I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Just pushes the wave in, gets a level advantage, and just straight up kills DarkMago with Ghost Chef. I mean, that's pretty wild. That is not what I expected. And of course, you can Sleight of Fist dodge some of that combo, but it still is just surprising that there was even such a level discrepancy. I think it just caught him completely off guard, and then he gets Schofield thinking that he would be safe and maybe wanting a sip of the bottle, but Pipi, where have you been?
That should help.
Oh man, that looked pretty damn good there. And Schofield, yeah, just either misremembering the range of Tidebringer or thinking he was just not gonna have to deal with the Kunkka at all, with how far back he was. But
has been killed.
Either way, it does cost him his life, and
your admiral is on.
Your Kunkka picks up 2, looking pretty good. Up in the top lane though, Benjaz, he's getting hit up a little bit. Schofield, respawns, TP's top, looks to push in, and doesn't quite make up for the 2 kills they gave up mid, but it is getting Parker into a slightly better spot. But now, here comes the Ember, looking to track down Demon. And yeah, at this point, very little health, basically no mana, everything on cooldown. Demon is going to get taken down as well.
Yeah, no boots, you know. You do what you got to do. Parker also lost his Vanguard. Kind of unfortunate for him. His courier just died at the enemy secret shop, so Kind of sucks for him, but very nice rotations in from Schofield, really making it happen after the unfortunate death. And also gets to leave Sacred in a very safe spot. Bottom lane's gone completely cold. He's got the Helm of the Dominator now. He's very satisfied. Even though this is a little bit strange, but it's free. It's easy. Gets a vote again. Just gets to use it immediately as it comes off cooldown, and then TP's top. I mean, Pipi is making those rotations. It's great to see. And Parker might be caught none the wiser.
Yeah, did not realize that this was all coming his way, and he was in trouble even before Pipi got involved there, so a little bit of an awkward one from the Pudge. Stinger now trying to cut his way through the tree line, and he's not dead yet. Schofield is going to TP in, trying for the rebound play, but rebounds on to nothing, and
furled your sails, but
now he just has to hope that they don't come chasing after him, and it looks like for now, ET, yeah, Ravens aren't going to get too greedy with it,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower is under attack.
another impressive rotation. Pipi really the engine for this squad right now, and yeah, that ward scouts all this out. Parker feels comfortable TPing in. Does he feel comfortable going for a hook, though? This is still 3 heroes, okay. Does feel comfortable with the hook, just not too comfortable with the aim.
Yeah, they want to play. They want to get something done before Benjaz has Solar Guardian, but with a kind of whiff, it ends up being a little bit too telegraphed, even though they do make a dive happen mid. DarkMago gets to spend some of his time. They lost track of the Ember Spirit for a second there, just because he placed a Remnant top, then he's immediately back mid. But you see already, the level of discrepancy is still there. Pipi is so annoying! And I mean,
Enough.
okay.
Still had that Remnant.
Still though, Pipi's a killer. My goodness.
No fear whatsoever, right? As you said, he free fires the torrent there. The torrent hits, and then he goes for the X into the boat. So, I mean, hell, if you're feeling that confident, might as well go for it. And now, maybe some of the damage issues become a little bit less prevalent, because if he's able to get this much gold this early, the build gets accelerated a bit. Although, as I say that, he does need to make sure he's not cut out here. The rebound may not have hit, but the dispo still pulls him back. At this point, DarkMago's the one in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to dodge this X. Well, he is able to dodge away. Silence hits him immediately afterwards, though, so he can't jump again.
Radiant's
Pipi finishes him off with the Tidebringer. There is going to be a little bit of a sacrifice on the other side of the map, though. They go in onto Benjaz, recognizing everybody's in the middle lane, so we've got a solo play here, and
Radiant structures.
they get the killing TP, but they won't get the tower, because guess who's here? Immediate TP in from the Kunkka. Pipi is playing everywhere on the map right now. He is getting a hell of a lot done.
Structures are fortified.
And now, though, you're trying to collapse on him. There is a Solar Guardian, though. This is not a clean dive, and yep, there you go. Stinger going to die incredibly quickly. Now Parker, well, he's in over his head. Beastcoast did not check themselves before this play, and they're going to get hard punished.
Trying to save it with the Dismember here, but that's really not going to be enough. And Pipi, well, he gets the kill. They clean up 2. Their tower's still standing. Or now, at least. There we go. Got to take the siege creep out of there, and they do exactly that. And ET, all of a sudden, you know, Ravens are looking pretty good here. Demon, yeah, maybe this is slightly over-ambitious, but he's not going down that quickly, and here comes the reinforcements. Cara's in. He's making his way over. That rebound play into the Unleash is going to try to create a distraction, but Pipi is not deterred. He knows the target he wants. Trying to get onto DarkMago, and, well, unfortunately, they can't quite track him down. They do trade out supports, but the Ember gets away.
Yeah, and 6.2k net worth at 11 minutes, man. I mean, it's just great. The only problem is that even though they hold bottom, there's still a lot of pressure that hasn't been applied to Sacred. He's pretty much had a free Beastmaster game so far, and he's getting active. He's coming mid. They want a revenge play right now. They do see Benjaz walking over. This is that scary moment. All they have is global right now. This has to be a preemptive save play, otherwise they are going to get taken down here. And here we go. Step 1, but
Global comes in, Ghost Ship follows, staggers the assault, but they're still going. They get the rebound. Do they have a dispose? No, but they do have a roar. Now the dispose comes into play, but do they have the damage here? That's a defensive sunder out from Yuma. They cannot afford to lose Pipi here, and they know it, so
marks the spot.
Pulling out all the stops there. That does mean Yuma basically doesn't get to participate in the rest of this fight, but will there be a fight? DarkMago and Schofield are pushing in, and they can maybe get onto Cara, but now Pipi, with the pressure off of him, is going to turn right back around. He gets off a hell of a lot of damage there with the Tidebringer. They're going to be able to clean up too. But they need to be able to take down DarkMago again. He's got DOT on him, but he doesn't have any more remnants. He has to try and grab something. The haste rune goes into his bottle, but he's caught by the X. Can he dodge it with a slight? No, he can't. Pulled back, finished off by Fate Bolt and Sacred. He's going to try something here. Cara maybe dies to the creep. No, he doesn't. They get the Frostbite onto it. A stolen Frostbite, by the way, from Demon, and that means that there are no casualties on the Raven side. And oh, Sacred. He is caught. Solar Guardian in, and that's everybody. I mean, every single hero who shows up for what was supposed to be a gank mid ends up getting taken down.
Yeah, and it ends up being a 4-for-1 with Demon dying, you know, ages ago. He gets to participate in so many of those kills after the fact. Beastcoast are just getting out team fought by Ravens. Ravens take this little advantage they've been able to get with Pipi and have just spiraled it out of control. And now Beastcoast are the ones that kind of have to check themselves. They might be stuck farming and saying, okay, we kind of fed a lot of kills to our opponents, and the only reason they can fight us is because of our misplays, so we might be stuck farming versus a Yuma Terrorblade. And Yuma's just happy. He's smiling. Aside from that Sunder, he has been pretty much unaffected by any of these rotations from Beastcoast, aside from his mid-tower dying, but he is just back to where he wants to be in the triangle.
Just living a quiet sort of farming life at the moment. And for Ravens,
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
You think they don't maybe have memories of what happened the last time out, right? I said in that series on the DPC, they were overwhelmed in team fights. So this time ET, they say, all right, we're going to be the team with all the team fight strength, and, well, right on cue. They go in onto DarkMago. They do have to use Global. They do have to use Ghost Ship, but these kills just keep on pushing their advantage further and further forward.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's a kill that they're always going to go for. And that was even with the BKB reveal on Pipi, but no fight. Nothing followed up because Beastcoast are spread out on the map. They're trying to farm all 3 lanes. They're trying to get into that recovery mode. It's why every once in a while you do see the gold lead slightly tipping back in their favor because they are just getting more out of the map right now. But that's where it's still up to Ravens to kill Beastcoast. They still need to get out. Still need to make sure they're not falling too far behind. Beastcoast are playing incredibly split up right now. So there are punishes to find. Ravens just need to find where to actually hit.
Your admiral is on board.
That is the thing about this style. If they're trying to force these fights, then they need to keep forcing them. Don't give your opponents any time to reset, because, well, I mean, Beastcoast, they're 2k behind, and you'd think, yeah, that's bad. It is, but looking at their core heroes, the gap is not massive among the cores, so give him time to farm. Things are going to go bad. Pipi trying to push his way forward. This is going to get a little bit complicated, though. The root comes in, rebound, connects. Solar Guardian, though, will be deployed, but Parker was able to get the hook off. He pulls Pipi away. No BKB activated, so they're able to find that first kill. Now they want more. They get Cara as well. Demon will fall. Oh, man, Benjaz. I mean, he comes into the fight with a Solar Guardian, but I don't think he wanted to be there in the end as Beastcoast respond in exactly the manner that they needed.
And that's what you have to be careful of. All that happens there, they step a little bit too far forward and they don't clear out this ward. So they're under vision this entire time. They are just getting baited in, and then the hook from Parker just blows it wide open. Pipi doesn't get BKB off. There's no rum. The Ghost Ship doesn't come through. It's also where Benjaz is not going for that Saki, I'm going to just be a healer with Greaves build. He's going for Deso on the Dawnbreaker, but it just means that their team fight is that much weaker, and Ravens bait themselves into the fight even though they don't have global. So that's where Beastcoast, the team with certainly a little bit more experience, that captainship from Schofield and Stinger, you always have to be careful of, because it's a little bit like this. You give a play here, you give a kill there, you give a little bit of ground, and Beastcoast just start to take everything. Even though Pipi finds a nice little pickoff in the mid lane, and they do scout out a pretty nice DD rune, but still, they have to get a good team fight win now.
Okay, with the double damage, they're going to go for Roche instead. They pop the meta, they push their way in, and for Beastcoast, do you have really any idea that this is going down here? Doesn't look look like they're doing a lot in terms of scouting it at the moment, so this could just be Roche for free.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Roche goes down, Yuma takes the Aegis, and
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, if you're gonna drop a DD rune right in the Terrorblade's face like that, you might as well try as Demon. Well, he gets hooked in, but there's the immediate global to follow it up. Stole the hook, pulls Parker back. Now they've got the X on him as well. This fight is gonna get a little complicated, but they're gonna try and go for it. There's a Solar Guardian into play. Stinger is channeling a freezing field, so Yuma does have to be a little careful here. Does he want to use Sunder on his first life? Doesn't get the chance to. Gonna get taken down. But honestly, without Parker, do they have enough damage to do this? They do get one kill onto Benjaz. Cara's gonna get picked off in the back line as DarkMago was just kind of harassing the supports. But they need more. They need Pipi. Can they lock him down? He does have his X back up, but nothing else, so he can't hold the line. And Yuma and all of that ET, well, decided to get the hell out of Dodge. Once he loses the first life, he just TPs away.
Yeah, and it's very nice that Yuma's actually able to run that one out, but again, 4 for 1, you still get the pudge, but the fight just breaks out too quickly, and they got the hero pairings they want. DarkMago got to run wild on the supports. Meanwhile, Schofield is in a 1v1 versus Pipi, and even though it's a BKB Kunkka who has had the advantage up until this point, Marcy's just sitting there healing. Just pause the sidekick, and with the Unleash is just in the worst hero matchups you could possibly ask for Ravens, and they just get picked apart. And the bigger problem, the overlooming problem, is that these are all fights without BKBs. And there are 2 BKBs in queue from Beastcoast. Once you get to ignore one of those big ultimates, either the Soul Guardian or the Global, well, we've got a big problem, Ravens. That's where you all start to lean on Yuma a little bit more. And Yuma is making his way to big items like Scotty, but will he be able to carry you through these team fights? Is this where Ravens really feel like they missed their timing? We're kind of getting there.
Yeah, I mean, the reason Parker goes down there is due in very large part to the Solar Guardian coming into play. So if they could just ignore it and fight through, you're down a pretty big tool. And Yuma, I mean, he did not last all that long in that fight. Granted, he refused to use Sunder because he had the Aegis and was kind of hesitant in terms of over-committing spells, but you're not really at that tanky point just yet. The Scotty may change that, right? Get yourself the stats, be a little bit harder to lock down, but Ravens have to be very careful about the way that they approach this. And I mean, it feels like now they absolutely can't take any fights if they don't have all of their ults backed up. Even when they're down 1 or 2, the results have been kind of concerning.
Yeah, and I do like the switch up from Benjaz. Besides, okay, maybe the death was a little bit too wild for me. Gonna turn the Mithril Hammer into a BKB because it just makes a little bit more sense. It makes him a lot less vulnerable to all of the magic damage that Beastcoast has been outputting, but it's still a decision. You start to wonder, too little too late. Is it just that easy of a game to throw versus Beastcoast? Are Beastcoast really that good? I mean, they kind of are, but you don't want to be that glum there on Ravens. And they still are farming very nicely, especially on the Terrorblade. They're starting to give him even more farm. But again, you have to highlight that Beastcoast are just playing more of the map. They are split out more. They are farming more. They are just not as scared as Ravens feel right now. The Ravens are, you know, trying to mirror those hero pairings and then should have the advantage because they have Solar Guardian, but they're scared. They're afraid of losing another team fight in the same and decisive way they've lost the past 2, but they can't get in their heads too much here. And well, play top, but he'll get him, but does not feel very nice.
That's Solar Guardian used for that, so at least they get the kill, right? If they came away empty-handed, that would be disastrous, but even that kill's a little bit iffy because Marcy, the Marcy is closing in on a BKB of her own, so it was a good time to kill her, but that play may not be available the next time around. And Stinger and Sacred poking around, kicking the tires a bit, seeing what's open, and DarkMago says, I'm going in now. BKB activated. He is looking for the fight. Cara's going to pop the global, but he still dies. But that does allow the rest of the lineup to escape. But ET, you had to use your Solar Guardian to kill Schofield. Now you have to use your Global Silence to get the other half of your lineup away to safety, so you can't really take a fight right now. You can't afford to be aggressive with 2 of your big ults down.
Yeah, you kind of just have to wait. And the one who didn't really get to do much in that engagement, the Sacred's just back to being annoying. He's immediately onto a building. He's onto an objective. That was just a 2-man smoke of the chorus, just running in. And sure, they want to find a punish here on DarkMago, but DarkMago says no. I'm in. He's on Illusion Room. He's just going for it.
And Pipi's in some trouble. He's going to pop his BKB, looking for a TP home. Nobody has any sort of bash or any play like that, so they do let him go, but they get Demon, and now Benjaz and Yuma, they're in a little bit of an awkward spot. Stunned up momentarily, but DarkMago's health is questionable. Lost about half his HP there, but the sidekick being placed on him could get him back up quickly, but at this point, this would be diving maybe a little bit too far. Beastcoast are going to back it off, or maybe only going to fake backing it off. 4-man smoke, moving their way north, hoping that maybe Ravens lose their cohesion and somebody steps too far forward here.
Yeah, and you blink, and then suddenly Beastcoast is 6k up. I mean, it's just incredible the way that they're playing Dota, how fast they're getting out. And yeah,
Pipi.
the Kunkka, he's been cut off.
Oren's not going to help him. He's rooted. He is just completely taken down, and I think he was looking for Demon there with that hook, just trying to maybe get a little bit greedy, but not going to be able to find anything, but they got the big kill. And now DarkMago says, I'm going to go. See if you can find a kill here. Cara gets picked up again, really making use of that BKB AT, and we're nearly running it down to lowest duration already, but look at what it has earned Beastcoast in the process. All right, 7k net worth lead, pressure on the tier 2 tower, and the roles here have been entirely reversed.
Yeah, and the bigger problem for Ravens is you check the side lanes. Nobody is out onto the map. They are all stuck on the high ground right now. They just don't feel like walking out. And they also feel like, hey, we have everything. We have BKB Dawnbreaker. We have all of our ultimates. We have BKB Kunkka backup. We should fight them so they keep Yuma in the base for said fight. But because they're just waiting around, the gold lead gets worse. The cores on Beastcoast use the map. They TP around. They farm everything. And then they come back and fight you, and then they win the team fight. So something's got to change here, Ravens. This is not getting any better. And they are smoking out of the base, but a smoke that doesn't look like it's going to land. They're looking for DarkMago, and they would find a DarkMago without his BKB, but he fades away as soon as he thinks that you can meet him. Maybe they get him in the secret shop here, but look, Stinger's ready to trade places and then block the smoke. I mean, the choreographed play from Beastcoast is just on another level.
Dude, Stinger's got a Vanguard. He's building a Crimson Guard. What is this? Beastcoast, they were supposed to be in trouble, ET. 10 minutes ago, we were wondering if they were going to be able to turn this back around, and now Stinger's building a Crimson Guard. So they are not even entertaining the notion of being under threat right now. They know just how far ahead they are.
Oh, and they're looking for BKB mid.
Yep, that's going to force it out. Solar Guardian's coming in, but now Benjaz, you are separated from your teammates. Cara does get the global silence off, but dies immediately after, and they're just in full retreat, trying to get themselves away. Demon, though, gets rooted up. Let's go for the stolen dismember. That is locking DarkMago down long enough for the ghost ship to come through, and they will kill him off. DarkMago falls. Schofield jumped into his opponent's base there. I think he was just trying to maybe keep Pipi distracted, but that didn't really work, so... well, solid fight. They do still lose 2 on the Raven side, and they did just blow all of their big ults, so I don't know if they're willing to look for a second round of fighting, but the first round does not go as poorly as it could have, although if they lose the TB here, we're talking about a different story. But Yuma comes in, able to disrupt that dismember, but Yuma, I'm not sure what he sundered there, but it didn't actually get him a lot of health, and now they're all dead. That was very unfortunate with the timing.
Yeah, just got baited by the Hawk. Yuma has been cooked. He's been eyed out for so much time. And then Parker says, okay, I wasn't in that last fight. Yeah, I'm going to come. I saw my BKB. And it just works. He just runs at him. And until we get a BKB from Yuma, there's always that risk of the Pudge just running at you and taking you out. And Sacred's here to do the building damage. I mean, Beastcoast are a very capable lineup. It's where having that power spread out to your offlaner, as long as Sacred's around with the aura and with this creep, they can afford to do this. This is greedy, though. Going for the melee Rex instead of the ranged could be too difficult. Now, Parker really needs some help here, and we'll get forced away.
All right. They're able to get him out of there. Demon, I think, was hoping to take Hook. Instead, he gets Rot. One of the single worst feelings in the world for the Rubik players, but at least they were able to keep the damage to a minimum here. The melee Rex is still standing. The tier 3 goes down, sure, but that refreshes their glyph, and they're able to try and reset. Global is up in 10, so you can try to make something happen, but ET, the last couple of times, it's been rough. That last fight was really the best one we had seen from them in a while, and then Yuma getting caught out afterwards kind of just wiped all the progress away.
Yeah, you aren't able to farm the map after your team fight win. You don't get out anywhere. Now we're going to have to think about this next Roche and what that's going to mean for the game. I think if Beastcoast get an Aegis, especially onto DarkMago, it might be doomsday time. I mean, DarkMago is also level 19. It's kind of insane where we're at in this game. Isn't looking for the Ags either. He just wants the Kaya Sanj instead, but Roche respawning. Already, Yuma very wisely having an illusion in the pit, so he'll be able to scout it out before anybody else, but this is the game now. And look at this. DarkMago's underneath their vision. They've got a Hawk as well, though.
Gonna try to push their way forward. DarkMago trying not to give away the fact that he knows where they are, but over to the south, they kind of jumped the gun. They go straight in there, but there's going to be your BKB pop by Benjaz. Global Silence is going to be deployed. Yuma went for the meta, but they're not killing anyone, and now the Roar is going to be deployed on the Pipi. His BKB wears off. Solar Guardian has to be used to try and keep him alive, and for now it will, but the Freezing Field is just doing all the damage. Stinger's going to actually end up getting the kill there, and DarkMago pushes his way forward. Root onto the Terrorblade. They want to force out his Sunder, but they don't want to dive too far. So they will back up. They'll reset. Going to try to maybe focus in on Demon here. They get the Root down onto him. Rebound will stun him up, and now the Rubik is... well, he's actually going to live. He uses the Stolen Remnants to both jump back into the base and help get the kill on the Sacred, but Yuma needs backup. Someone's got to protect him. He's caught by the Dismember, going to get killed off.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
They were focused on the wrong thing there for Ravens. They all pulled back, but they all were focused on getting back for themselves, not for defending their carry. And Yuma has a buyback, but without the meta, there's really not much to buy back for.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And
under
I don't think
attack.
they will buy back. They can't go for another set of Rex either, as that is a crazy hook. And we'll see. I mean, there are only 2 heroes in the base here. He will be able to telekinesis the Pudge as soon as he goes for said Dismember, but what an unfortunate time to DC there from Pipi. But Beastcoast kind of have this game. They kind of have really every objective to play for. They can double back now, look for the pit. Isn't a great push in, especially with Sacred being dead, but it could be worse. But I don't know. We'll have to see how they decide to handle this Benjaz hook situation, but they can't swing for any more racks. That's the good news. They're 2 tier 2 standing, but this is a situation to be in.
Now, I guess we'll have to see, because Stinger's got a force, could get in there for the Frostbite. DarkMago's still sitting on a Remnant, and he does have the chains back up, so if they wanted to, they could try to push in onto Benjaz, and then do you have the damage to kill him off in time? They're going to go for it, and Demon, what's the play here? Does he have anything to do? Not really. He could have tried for telekinesis, but I think that would have put him in sort of range of being initiated on himself, so decides not to go for it, and also, very unfortunately, stole Rot again instead of Hook. Maybe a defensive Hook would have been able to save the day, but obviously Rot doesn't do anybody any favors.
Yeah, unfortunate. And we're still kind of waiting here for Beastcoast to actually scout out the Roche, because they've made no attempt so far. I know it's been alive for a good minute or so, but they're also waiting for all of their BKBs to come back up. They've got 4 BKBs. I would not be surprised if Stinger looks for a BKB next. They're just ready to deal with Raven's lineup. They're geared. It's where there's no even attempt at items like Lotus Orbs to kind of counter out the Sunder. They just say, hey, if none of us are Sunder targets, well, he's going to have to Sunder one of their teammates, and then, oh, we're just going to kill him. As Cara, on a warding adventure, ends early.
Quick kill for Sacred there. Meanwhile, the Hawk flew over the pit. Parker gets in there to check it out, and now they're going to go for it. Parker also just finished off a Shiva's guard, so I mean, if you're Ravens, how do you push into this safely? Even with all of your ults, there's 4 BKBs, there's going to be Shivas to lock you down. somebody's going to be sidekicked and healing, so it's just rough. And then, oh, by the way, you know, somebody's got 2 lives. It's going to be Parker who picks it up, so just everything stacking up against Ravens right now.
Generation.
As Schofield
Dyer's bottom tower
took the
is under
Shard
attack.
ET, but he hasn't committed it for himself just yet. So we'll see if he's actually going to use it or if he passes it off as PP. Very dangerous game that you're playing right now.
Radiant's top
The X
tower
pulls him back and he's going to be able to walk away. His tower, though, will be hit up.
X gets him out of there. Slight doesn't scout him either, but they got a cart. They're coming. They're pushing up right now. They do not care. They don't really want to be in this game very much longer. Arcane Rune on DarkMago for this next team fight as well. He is just prepared to be so annoying. And you'll see on your minimap, there is no TV. Half the lineup is not in the base. Ravens are deciding to gamble everything on this bottom racks, and the fact that Beastcoast have gone out of order a little bit here. There's still a tier 2 standing bot. They have really no interest in going for the tier 4s, so this will allow the Terrorblade to get a little bit more farm. This BKB's it, and yeah, they jump.
In on the Demon, taking him down quickly. Buyback available, but now Cara gets pulled back in. That hook hits at the maximum range. They're going to look for this. Pipi has to pop his BKB. The Solar Guardian's going to come in, but it doesn't hit onto anyone. And now, you see, they've committed meta. They've committed BKBs. They have to go. They cannot afford to not fight here, but they're just getting picked apart. Pipi already losing 80% of his health, falling back to the fountain. He does make it home. That means Benjaz and Yuma are fighting by themselves, but they're doing a decent job of it. Trying to get damage onto Stinger. They're able to take him down, but can they deal with the cores? No, not even. A little bit here as Yuma good Sunder, but it's not going to matter. He's still locked down by the Dismember. Taken out. Benjaz bought back, though, trying to push his way in. Maybe they get Schofield here. Yes, they do. They get DarkMago as well. This is looking a little bit better, but DarkMago is an Ember Spirit, so he just bought back, jumps to his Remnant, keeps the fight going, and they will close it out. Triple kill for your Ember Spirit. GG called. And Beastcoast just decided they wanted the game to end, and they make it end.
Yeah, it's a fantastic win, and really, I think looking at those hero pairings in those
It's Cleaver time.